evening everyone, welcome back to yet another recipe with me, Ryan. And today I thought we'd come outside again and do another recipe on the fire. And those of you that have stayed with us in the past, you all know that I have a bit of a soft spot for sweet things, and chocolate especially. So what I thought I'd do today is make a little chocolate brownie, but something a bit different, something to kind of make it more sort of vegetarian friendly. We're going to do our brownies today that is completely egg free and dairy free, so to make a nice change. So let's go through our ingredients and then I'll start showing you how to make it. Great. So if you look in the front of here, you'll see we've got about 125 mils of sunflower oil. We've also got 80 mils of strong coffee. So what I did is I took 2 tablespoons of instant coffee, mixed it with 80 mils of hot water, just to kind of make a very strong coffee. We've then got 50 grams of regular cake flour, about 110 grams of chocolate. Now that is a dairy-free Belgian chocolate that I'm using today. At the back over here I've got 170 grams of macadamia nuts. Then I've also got 100 grams of brown sugar, and I've got 60 grams of cocoa powder. And then once I've mixed it all together and once I've put it into my pot to bake, we're going to make a bit of almost like a little ganache that we're going to put on the top. And for that I've got 1 cup of coconut cream, and I've also got 250 grams of chocolate. And then of course 2 ripe bananas. Now the bananas, if they sort of more overripe, it's better to use. The same as if you're making a banana bread, you want something that's more kind of overripe than underripe. So let's get started. Okay, so our first step is to take our flour, our cocoa powder and our salt, sift them together, and then we'll work on our wet ingredients. Right, so next step, take your 125 mils of sunflower oil into a bowl, then add your 100 grams of brown sugar, and then whisk it together almost until the sugar dissolves. So once you mix that together, the next step is to take our bananas, peel them, chop them up and pop them in. Look at that. Right, once they're in, using your whisk, you're going to mash up your bananas and then mix them through with your sugar and your oil. The next step, once we've mixed it all together, is to take our macadamia nuts. And what we're going to do is we're first going to toast these a little bit, just to enhance their flavour. And then once you've toasted them, we're going to then crush them. Right. While our macadamia nuts are busy toasting, we're going to take our coffee, add it into our wet ingredients, and we're going to give it a good stir. Then we're going to take our dry ingredients, our cocoa powder and our flour, we're going to put them into our wet ingredients and we're going to fold it through. Once we've folded our cocoa powder and flour into the mixture, we're then going to take our chocolate, we're going to add it in, and we're also going to fold it. Right, once our nuts have been toasted, just pop them onto a chopping board. And then in little stages, I like to use our mallet to crush them. You can also use the back of a pot, or you can chop them with your knife, but I find this is a little bit easier. And in little tiny batches, put them there, pop the flat end on the top and crush. So we've crushed our macadamia nuts. Now what we're going to do is we're not going to put all of this in. We're only going to put about 2/3 of these nuts into our mixture. The last third of the mix of the nuts we're going to save to one side, and then once our brownies have baked and once we've put our ganache on the top, we're going to take the remaining nuts and sprinkle them on as a garnish. Right, so what we've done here is we've got, we call this a potjie pot, better known as a cast iron pot. It's basically a three-legged black pot. This I've had over the fire for the past sort of 35-40 minutes to get nice and hot around the side. If we open it up, I've put a little base in the bottom there so that our brownies do not actually sit on the direct heat of the potjie pot. And then all we're going to do is we're going to put these guys in the middle and then put our lid back on the top. And then what we're going to do is to kind of make this more like an oven. We're going to take some of our burning coals and put them on the lid so that it heats the whole pot. So when you guys make the brownies at home and you don't have the sort of setup that I've got here, you can make the same base brownie recipe, and then all you need to do is put into an oven at 180 degrees centigrade. That's about 350 Fahrenheit, and you'll only cook them for about 30 minutes. Now once your brownies have baked, let them cool for about 15-20 minutes. Whilst they're busy cooling, we're going to make our ganache. So what we're going to do is we've got our coconut cream that we're just bringing up to the boil, and then once it's boiled we're going to add our dairy-free chocolate, and we're just going to mix it just to melt the chocolate, and then we're going to take that and we're going to glaze the top of the brownie. So our coconut cream has steeped a little bit. It's come almost to sort of scalding point, which is just under boiling point. So all we're going to do is we're going to take our chocolate, add it in and stir it until our chocolate melts. So our brownies have almost cooked, and as usual when you bake a cake you get a bit of an audience, so I've been joined by our little guys, Quinn, Skomboso and Jaden. Let's have a look at our brownies. Right.
It looks good.
Okay, it looks good, huh?
I have it too.
I'm going to take them out and show you.
I like how it looks like chocolate.
Okay. So our brownies have cooled down for about 10-15 minutes.
Yep.
They're nice and sort of firm on the top, which is how you know they've been cooked. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our ganache that we made while it was busy cooling, and we're going to pour it on the top.
Cool. Wow, yummy.
Yummy.
Are we gonna have this for dinner?
We're going to have it for dinner tomorrow, because once we've poured this in,
we're gonna make another batch.
we need to put this in the fridge
Can I have one?
tomorrow.
One piece tomorrow.
And that is it. And then to finish it off, give that a good shake. And then to finish off, we're going to take
Some nuts.
the rest of our macadamia nuts,
Yum.
and we're going to sprinkle all over the top. Okay.
Yeah.
We finished making this. We're going to put into the refrigerator overnight. Let the top set, and then we're going to slice and enjoy.
Yum, 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 yum. Tastes delicious.